Okay.
Hi.
Hi, Joe, and hi, Louis. So we're just waiting for our medical experts to join the meeting. So far, we have Dr. Farida. I hope the others did not forget. I'll just send a quick reminder in the groups. How are you guys doing?
We are fine.
Hello, Dr. Farida. Good morning.
Morning.
How's it going?
It's fine.
We're just waiting for some more people to join. In any case, we're recording the meeting, so we'll be able to send it to the group chats for others to catch up. But I just need a few more people to join. So it's not just us.
Okay.
Okay. Just a few more people to join in and then we shall begin. We're going to keep it brief. Should we just start? We'll be setting a recording anyway. I don't know when the others will be joining. Maybe they're still a bit busy or caught up.
Yeah, found it since yesterday. Sorry.
So we shall just begin and we shall be adding other people as they join in, or we shall just share the recording of the meeting in the group chat for everybody else to catch up. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is doing great. Welcome to our first ever premier Musawo meetup. Yay! I think in the future, these will be very useful to have. Just a quick catch up to touch base with the entire My Musawo team, not only the team from the company, but also the team from the medical experts, everybody that's involved in growing My Musawo and making it what it is. So I think we should keep these up, and hopefully in the future ones, our friends and colleagues can actually show up.
Yeah.
Who knows, maybe in the future, we shall even be doing in-person meetings and dinners or outings together, right? I think it's always good to have that camaraderie. So I'll begin by introducing myself. My name is Diliana Lukwago, and I am the founder of My Musawo. For those who are interested to know. I would like for us to do a quick roundup for those that are present right now. Just a quick introduction, who you are, what you do, and yeah. We shall start with my team at the company right now. They are at our offices, the My Musawo headquarters. I'm currently in Germany, but my team is at our headquarters in Naguru, 14A, Naguru Drive Close. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, sure. So Lou is looking at me like, ladies first. So my name is Joan Atire. I am the Chief Operations Officer at Musawo. I am excited to be part of this call. I support the internal and external operations. I'm basically a link. And I also ensure that we keep in line with the company vision and achieve set targets and goals. Yeah.
Yes. How are you guys? My name is Musawo Michael, and I'm the Chief Technology Officer, in charge of our development processes for the technical part. Yes.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you too, Farida.
Dr. Farida?
Oh, it's me next. So I'm called Dr. Bakulumpaji Farida Nansuga. Currently, I'm working at KPC Cortex Pharmaceuticals as their main general doctor. But I'm a gynecologist. I have a master's in gynecology, oncology, and I'm very happy to be part of the team. I'm one of your biggest well-wishers.
Oh.
We're glad to have you, Farida, and we hope that you can join us officially on the team as a medical advisor. So we're looking forward to that. So we'll keep the meeting brief. As like I said before, it's just a quick roundup, a quick catch up, just to touch base so we could all be on the same page. I believe in transparency and teamwork. So there's no reason why we should be doing what we're doing on the back scenes while all the other parties that are involved don't have a slightest clue what's going on. So that's the purpose of this meeting. My personal background, I went to Nabisunsa Girls High School, and after Form 6, I got a scholarship to go study medicine in China. So I'm a Chinese government scholarship alumni, and I did 1 year of language there, so I'm fluent in Mandarin, just as Dr. Farida is as well, because we were on the same program. And then shortly after that, I did 5 years of medical school. After the 5 years of medical school in China, it's an MBBS. I did 1 year clinical practice at China-Uganda Friendship Hospital in Nakuru. There I met all my friends that we had studied with at high school, not at Nabisunsa per se, but I met Dr. Juko, who we actually went to SOSH together, and he introduced me to all his other friends from Mbarara. We have Dr. Shaka joining in. And I met some other friends from all the other medical schools around. And during this time at this clinical practice in Nakuru, so I realized first of all, I realized how talented our young doctors were. These were people that I was working with. These were people that were fresh out of medical school, very passionate. And they reminded me as why I decided to do medicine in the first place, because I was feeding off their energy and their passion for what they were doing. But the system was not helping much with keeping that motivation active and strong. I saw a lot of things. Of course, 5 years living in one of the fastest growing economies in the world, when you come back home, you can't help but notice all the wrong things that are going around. And it's good to be optimistic, but also I feel it's a responsibility of some of us that have had the opportunity to study abroad. I feel like it's our responsibility to come back home and bring back what we have learned, because then what good is it to go abroad, study, get exposed to all these other things that we might not necessarily have in our social economic infrastructure in Uganda, come back and then don't do anything or don't I don't know, at least share something, share your experience, replicate something, bring something back. So when you study, when you're exposed to such environments outside and you come back, it's inevitable that you're going to notice a lot of things that are different. And I think this is what kind of piqued my interest when I was working at Naguru. I saw how my very talented and passionate friends were just simply frustrated with the system. They were not getting paid. Things were slow, the bureaucracy, very unnecessary things were happening. And that's when the idea for my Musawo initially came to mind. It came to mind with the doctor in mind, because I thought to myself, okay, is there a way that I could do something that can enable my friends to keep doing what they're doing, what they're passionate about, but have some extra source of revenue, so that even if the government is delaying their payments, they have somewhere else that can bring in some extra revenue. And in that way, they don't have to shift their focus. That way, they don't have to shift their focus of what they love to do, but then they also don't have to starve. They don't have to worry about how they're going to run their day-to-day. So the initial idea came to mind with the doctor in mind. My first customer segment, or my first client segment, was the doctor. And then later on, as I developed the idea, I got these other ideas with telemedicine, online consultations, how all these different models will come to play. And this was in 2014, 2015. So the idea has been marinating in my mind since then. And then I went back to China to do my master's. Sorry, I'm just muting so that we can have less feedback with the sound, but later on I'll open up the mics, especially as the other doctors come in, because would love for them to introduce themselves. So then I went back for my master's in clinical acupuncture and Tuina at the Beijing University of Chinese Medicine. So I supplemented my MBBS with a master's in clinical acupuncture. And now I was moving so where I did my MBBS was a smaller city. It's called Xi'an. And this is the city where the terracotta warriors are. If you guys know a bit about history and the terracotta warriors, it's one of, I think, the 7 wonders of the world, or the Chinese love to claim that it is. But I moved from that city, which is a bit of a more ancient city, to Beijing, which is the capital, like the New York of China. And that's where I did my master's. Here, I got exposed to all sorts of communities and individuals and ideas. I was, I would always attend the networking events, the young professionals meetups, all these different seminars and workshops. And I was meeting people in the startup world, people who have been on Forbes 30 under 30. I was mingling with people that work in VCs, people that are working in robotics and building live robots that we can actually interact with. And this further opened up my mind to the possibilities of the initial idea that I had from before. And throughout this entire time, the idea keeps building and building and building until 2019, when I decided, instead of thinking and talking about my idea, how about I start doing it? How about I actually start working on it? At this point, I was like, this is a fresh idea. It's going to change the world. It's revolutionary. I bet no one in Uganda has heard of something like this. So I come to 2019, I come back home and I share the idea with a few of my doctor friends, Dr. Ivan, Dr. Juko, Dr. Francis, my friends that I had met at Naguru, and they all tell me, oh, we have a bunch of those already. There's Orchid Health, there's this, there's that. Oh yeah, it exists already. And you can imagine my ego, it was a really good ego check, because I was like, oh, okay. But then, like all things, it's a matter of perspective. So someone could have so easily stopped there. But then I remembered what my motivation was. My motivation was not at all to be the first one or, get this notable acclaim to do something revolutionary. my motivation for doing this was to actually solve real existing problems. And I said, well, if there's already people actively doing something similar, it is actually a good thing and not a bad thing, because we're all working together to solve these problems that are real and that are affecting people on a daily basis. Issues of efficiency in health service delivery, issues in crisis management in our clinical centers, issues with non-regulated clinics that just price anything, and then it leaves stress on the young up and coming population, and issues with doctors, especially young doctors, building a career, a strong business and a strong career where they can live off and take care of their families without having to worry about when are we getting paid, or without having to work in like 10 clinics to earn money, enough money that your family can live off for a month. So when I remembered what my motivations were in the first place, I decided to continue on with my idea. And in any case, even if there were already people that had tried to do something similar, it actually helps me because then I can learn from their mistakes and do better. So I decided to go on with registering the business in 2019. We are actually registered under Prio Medical Limited. So when you do a check in URSB, it's not, the company is not registered as My Musawo because we could not own the words My Musawo. But we're registered under Prio Medical Limited, and under Prio Medical Limited, My Musawo is a trademarked brand. And we did the registration, it was successful. And I immediately started calling all my friends and getting information, getting feedback, getting advice, and asking them to come on board. And I'm still doing that till this day. Oh, and then I had to go back to China, December of 2019. I just did a quick holiday to come back to do the registration and then go back because I had to complete my studies. But whilst I was in China, I continued with the journey of building this startup on my own from scratch. I Googled developers in China, but then they were so expensive, and also they could not really understand how things are done in Uganda. They didn't really understand where Uganda even is or what it is. So hiring very early a foreign developer to develop the app or the platform, that idea, I quickly cut it out. And then I searched for developers in Uganda, and that's where I met Mr. Louis Musanje, this guy. That's where I met him online through another developer company. They were actually from the UK, and he was their lead developer. And we've been inseparable ever since. And Miss Joan Atohaire recently joined us because we met at a pitching competition for the UNDP. The UNDP had recently had a pitching competition for youth startup founders, and Miss Joan was there pitching her idea. And I noticed that her passion and vigor, and it's something, when you're building a company and choosing the team to work with, it's not so different from a courtship in a relationship, because working with people as a team, you have to be compatible, your goals need to be aligned, you have to have the same vision, you need to get along. These are the same things the same processes you kind of go through when you're looking for a life partner. So anyway, I saw Jo and I was like, oh yeah, I need to get her on my team for sure. I kind of stole her from someone else that she was working with at the time. But this is our current team, and we're a really happy bunch. And the process is still ongoing. So far, we have a few doctors that have agreed to start off with us. But as you know, the nature of startups is not an easy one. It is in no way an easy path. Things go up and down, up and down, up and down. Just when you think you're about to launch, something else comes up, and then you have to go back on the drawing board, dodging bullets. It's a crazy whirlwind, but it's worth it because we believe in the work that we're doing. And we believe that once we take our time to do it right, we can definitely do some good, not only in Uganda, but in the rest of the African continent. So achievements, so that's the background story, how I got from the idea to where we are right now. Where we are right now, before I get to there, I could just quickly go through some achievements we have achieved so far. Since 2019, it's been a bit slower because I wasn't in the country, but then in 2020, I decided to move back to Uganda for good. And this is what I do full time. I had a friend visit me at the office the other day and he asked me, so what do you do? What do you do for work, Delia? Oh, my Musawo. That's what I do. No, but what do you really do? What's your actual job? And I had to tell her, it's my Musawo. It's what I do full time. And she could not believe that this is what I do full time, yet it's not bringing in any revenue yet. It's just a startup. But this is how much I believe in what we're doing, and it will for sure pay off. But we have achieved some cool things so far. Even before we launch, we've won 2 notable grants. The first one was from the Ministry of ICT and National Planning, and that was the National Innovators Program, the NISIP. We won. So we signed an MOU with the Ministry of ICT and they fully support us. We got some funding from them as well. And they are partners. We do regular checks with them. They always come in. We always look to them for advice, especially to do with things, especially to do with compliance and the tech internet structure in Uganda, what to do, what not to do, what to avoid, data protection, guidelines, etc. So the Ministry of ICT is our full supporting partner, and we got that through the competition that we won. The other one that we've managed to get is with UNDP. It's the most recent one where I met Miss Joan. The United Nations Development Program partnered up with NACE, which is a youth entrepreneurship accelerator or incubator. We applied, and out of 2,000, we made it to top 10. They are yet to announce the actual winner, but I think it's us. Fingers crossed that we are the winners, but in any case, we did make it to top 10, and top 10 gets full support from the United Nations Development Program. We do get some bit of funding to help with our operations, and we get mentorship from a team of formidable experts in the fields of business development, technology, legal, and and finance. So those are the 2 achievements we've managed to achieve so far. We have got a lot of advice from friends that keep advising us to join some sort of VC funding program. But right now, that's not the path we're looking into. We're more focused on actually putting out a product before we can start getting into equity funding, because it can be a very dangerous path. And maybe could be the reason why we've been growing a little slower than we could have. But slow and steady always wins the race. And I believe in that wholeheartedly. So we're coming close to launch day. Our launch day is May 2nd. May 2nd, we shall be launching the first version of the My Musawo app, and people will be able to access it through Google Play Store and App Store, iOS. The first version is going to be a free version because number one, it aligns with our social corporate responsibility pillars. We're dealing with a population that has for so many years gotten used to the idea of them not deserving good quality stuff. Every time we see something good and of high quality, we imagine it's some muzungu that has brought it to us and gifted it to us. And then we want to change that narrative. And in our own small way, we're hoping that we can do that with our first free version of My Musawo. This will be the information, the version that answers the information problem. We have a lot of issues in our communities where people still believe in witchcraft, people still believe in traditional practices that have not exactly been proven or tested, but they still believe that they work because their senga and grandparents told them that they work. We're still working in a population where people still believe their stepmothers are the ones that have sent them HIV, but it's not actually real HIV. It's just something the stepmother has hexed on them. We're still working with a population that still doesn't believe in vaccination. So the first version is going to help us answer a lot of those issues, and we call it the information phase. So it will be a lot of users asking quick response questions and our medical experts answering them back. And with this, we want to create some sort of social network where users will be able to like, comment, respond, share on their other social platforms this information. We hope that we can work together with you guys, our medical experts, in creating content, creating medical content. We want to create some sort of peer review system where this content goes through a few steps before we publish it on the platform. But I believe it could be a really good opportunity for our medical experts to start being seen for, as thought leaders in their particular fields. All these older doctors in our parents' generation gained fame and fortune from word of mouth, from speaking engagements they do at events they're invited to, and they are able to build some sort of fan base because at some point someone went to them, they liked their services, and then they recommended them to friends and family, and then the chain kept growing and growing and growing. You guys know their names better. I don't remember most of the older doctors' names as I was growing up because I've lived away for so long. But doctors like Dr. Shitaka, you know them better. Dr. Mugalu, these guys have grown their empires from kind of being some sort of medical influencers, or so to speak. And I want to do the same for our younger doctors. We're the millennials, it's our time. We are the sandwich generation. And by sandwich generation, I mean, we are in the middle of all these different generations. We're in the middle, we're taking care of our parents and our grandparents for some, in the cases of some people. We're also the ones bearing children. We're the ones of the childbearing age, and we're taking care of that new generation. And we're the ones that are dominating the workforce right now. So it's our time, and there's no reason why you guys can't also make names for yourselves and be revered by communities as thought leaders in your chosen fields. And a good way to do that in a way that can scale really fast is through our platform. So as the medical experts will be answering quick response questions to people, writing blogs. So the blog posts will be looked at as some sort of publication. So instead of going through this highly strenuous bureaucratic publication style that we've been seeing in the past, you could do that directly on the platform. And that that information can reach the users directly. And the more of these activities that you do, the more people can like, comment, share, follow you on your profiles. And then before we know it, we have a community of influential doctors. And this can help you. Once you have a following or some sort of huge fan base, you can do with that so many things. If you decided to write a book, you immediately have people to buy it. If you decided to open up even a clinic, you immediately have already first adopters that are willing to support you. So this first version will lay the foundations for that. And that is launching on May 2nd. So we're gearing up for that. We have a prototype ready right now, but I don't know if we'll be able to show it to you guys today because time is already running out. But before we launch in May 2nd, we shall be doing a beta test. And we shall be communicating in the group chat about that. Someone in the group chat asked whether who is going to participate in the beta test and how is that going to run. So the beta is going to be running like how the app will be running, if that makes sense. All the features are going to be available, and we shall have real users on the platform as our beta testers, and also you guys. So everything will be running in the same fashion as it should run after we do the official launch. And this beta is supposed to help us tie up a few loose ends, make sure everything is running efficiently and properly, because we want to put out something that we can all collectively be proud of, instead of rushing and just putting out something just so that we can get bragging rights. Hey, check out our app. That sort of mindset doesn't really motivate us. What motivates us is actually putting out something of value that does what it says it does. And this beta stage will help us make sure that at least we are ready to onboard as many people as possible to do what we're saying we're going to do. After the beta, then we launch on May 2nd. After May 2nd, we shall have a fully functioning product. And with time, we're going to continue launching different versions as our features increase. So in version 2 will include most of the monetizable features, where our doctors will be able to get payments for their services through online consulting, home visits, etc. I'm just going over all the ideas so we can catch up on where we are right now, but all those details will be definitely communicated within due time. And the future of My Musawo is to definitely scale across the entire continent of Africa. We are trying to build a unicorn company that can help the entire continent of Africa. Uganda will be our first adopters, but with our medical experts that join us at the very first phase, it will be really cool to see their journeys maybe 5-6 years down the road when they're getting online consultation sessions from someone in Egypt or someone in Zambia or someone in Ghana or Nigeria. That will be something really cool, and that's where we're headed to. We're hoping to create a community of health conscious individuals and also a community of influential medical experts. We want to help you guys build your personal brands. So you guys are our superstars. And I would really very much like for you guys to start thinking of yourselves as such, because you do amazing things for our communities. Before we go into the Q&A session, in case there's any questions, we have a few doctors that have joined us. By the way, I use the word medical experts because we won't have only doctors. The app will have, so it's called My Musawo, but you know how the word Musawo is used in Uganda. It's very loosely used to mean anyone that has some knowledge on healthcare. I know my grandma, when she sees a nurse, when she sees a pharmacist, she calls everyone Musawo, Musawo, Musawo. So my Musawo will definitely have, I think, majority medical doctors, but also nutritionists. We shall have pharmacists. We shall have lab technicians. We shall have nurses. We shall have fitness trainers. As long as you are licensed to give out the information that you're giving out and provide the services that you're providing, then My Musawo will be a good platform for you. So yes, we have a few medical experts that have joined in, and I would like for them to introduce themselves before we go into the Q&A. Really quick, because we have 4 minutes left. We don't have the premium account for Zoom yet, but even if we time out, if there's still some other questions that you guys still want to ask, we can always join in with the same link. So real quickly, I'm gonna unmute Dr. Shaka so he can introduce himself real quick. We already introduced ourselves, and you can see that in the Zoom recording we shall share in the group later. Okay. You're still muted, Dr. Shaka. You can unmute yourself.
You good?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Yeah, I'm Dr. Cecilia Shaka. Deli and I went to medical school together, and very glad to be part of this group. And I'm here for the ride. Nice to meet you, everybody.
Nice to meet you, Dr. Shaka. Thank you very much. Miss Mukantwari, Edith.
Hello, everyone. My name is Edith Mukantori. I've been listening in on everything that's going on, and it seems like you guys are really making a lot of progress. So congratulations on that. It's very, very, very exciting news. Looking forward to seeing the first version. Must be a lot of work in the background. So well done. Yes, I am a nutritionist by profession. My major specialty is basically NCDs, maybe maternal and child health as well. Well, child health and nutrition, yes, those two areas. And yeah, it'll be really nice to, to join the team and, see how far this can go. I think I agree with you when you say we'd like to see how this will look, how the whole team will look 5 or 6 years from now. Very exciting.
Great, thank you so much, Edith. Unfortunately, we don't have any new people joining us right now, and yet we have to close the session real soon. I'm sure most of them are at work. I can see most of you are at work right now. Dr. Shaka is in his office, as well as Dr. Farida. I'm pretty sure Edith is at work as well, and maybe others are, I don't know, busy doing something else, but we shall be sharing the recording of this meeting in the group, and they can catch up and maybe ask their questions later. For those that are here right now, if you have any questions to ask, you can raise your hand and you can ask away. Any questions to ask me or my team? And if not, I think we can conclude the meeting. We have 1 minute left, so we're going to be timed out anyway. I think this concludes the meeting. We shall be sharing all the developments in the group chat. So we have 2 doctors groups. We have one medical experts group from way early last year. And then we have the newest one that recently joined in with Dr. Shaka and his colleagues. I would love to combine these 2 groups so that we have one collective medical experts group to ease communications, and so that we can all get to know each other. I'll be communicating on that later today. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If there's any further questions that you guys might have later on, I'll be sharing you can share those in the group chat once I create the collective group chat. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining our first ever meetup. And we're looking forward to working together. We're looking forward to a very fruitful future at my Musawo, and we wish you all a wonderful rest of the week. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Bye.